Alright, so I'm just going to go over one more example of a geological map, which is symbolized differently from the first one. This is a geologic map of Canada produced by the Canadian Geologic Survey, which is a branch of Natural Resources Canada. And you can see that it deals not just with the terrestrial bedrock geology, but also the marine bedrock geology as well. And this one is quite a bit more colorful than the first map, the North American Tapestry of Time and Train. And this is because in this particular map, color doesn't just represent time, but it also represents rock type. So if we go to the legend here, we can see, I'll just zoom in a bit, that we have color and lettering representing the rock type. These are sedimentary rocks, stratified sequences, volcanics, intrusive rocks, which are, of course, our two groups of igneous rocks, and then we also have metamorphic rocks. And then on the vertical axis here, we do have the geologic span of time that each rock is from, ordered with youngest at the top, oldest at the bottom. And so you can see that both, I guess color in many respects represents, like you can see similar colors representing similar periods of time on the legend to some degree, with the exception of these intrusives. But the lettering too allows you to distinguish. But when you're reading a map like this, it's really important to refer back and forth to the legend, because the legend has, very specific rock types and letterings and so on and so forth. So back to the map itself, you can see definitely some similar patterns to the first map, except there is even more detail, especially for areas around the Precambrian Shield, as well as in the Rocky Mountains. Areas with sedimentary bedrock tend to be less detailed, because this bedrock is not at the surface, it's quite a bit below, so we just simply have less information on these rock bodies, mostly from drill holes and so forth. So as a result, a lot of this is, fairly interpolated, and thus we don't have the same level of detail for these sedimentary areas as we do for, say, the Precambrian Shield or the Rocky Mountains area. But this is just a good example about how different geologic maps take different approaches to symbolizing the geology. Some just look at time, some just look at rock type, and this one makes an attempt to combine both time and rock type. So I encourage you to look at these two geologic maps, as well as geologic maps at a local scale, which may show things like the strike and dip of sedimentary rock layers, as well as features like folds and faults and other geologic structures. And try your hand and practice reading geologic maps.